Hi, welcome to the video where you can learn about how to do social media analytics for Facebook and Twitter. We are going to begin with Facebook. So if you sign in to your personal account, and you can, if you're an administration or administrator of your Facebook page, sign into your Facebook account, go to the drop-down menu to find the page that you manage. Go ahead and click on the page that you manage, and it'll take you to the page as you see it as the administrator. Next, we're going to go to the Insights tab, which is on the top. Go ahead and click on it. And then this will take you to the overview of the insights for your page. So as you can see, there are 3 boxes here that give you a brief overview of your page's analytics. On the left, you have your page likes. So the total page likes of your page, and then how many page likes you had over the past week. And then it shows you the percentage compared to the week before. In the middle, we have post reach. And these 2 numbers are different for a few different reasons. But the primary one is the total reach is everyone that your page has touched, whether that's the page in general, so someone might have shared the page as a whole on their newsfeed, or someone might have shared one single post on their newsfeed and some of their friends saw it, whereas the one below it is strictly post reach. So how many people your individual posts have reached over the past week. And so as you can see, this graph compares this week's reach to last week's reach. And then the final box on the right is the engagement with your posts over the past week. And so it shows you how many total people engaged with it, and then how many people liked it, commented, shared, and then clicked on posts. As you can see, this page is fairly inactive, and so doesn't have a whole lot of activity, but we'll be able to dive in and see some of the overview. If you click on each of these boxes, it'll take you to more in-depth about each of the statistics that you'll see. Some graphs, and then the net likes is really helpful because it has also unlikes. And then if you are doing any paid advertising, it also compares paid likes to organic likes. And so unlikes, you'll be able to see peaks and valleys with that as they compare to the increase in likes and then overall net likes. If we go back, we can click on post reach, and you'll be able to see similar kind of thing with the likes, the peaks and valleys, organic versus paid, so the light orange versus the dark orange. These are the reach of all of your posts, so not your page as a whole, but just your posts. And you can change this date up here to see specific dates. And then also the likes, comments, and shares or engagement on your posts. And then any people that are hiding your posts, reporting them as spam, or unliking your page. So basically negative feedback. And then on the bottom is the total reach then that you'll see. So that top number in the box as opposed to just the post reach. And then finally, the engagement on your post. This is back to that first box. So this, as well as the page likes, are combined. And so this is the likes, comments, and shares, and the hides. How many people are hiding your posts? So if we go back to the main page of the insights and we scroll down a little bit, you'll see that this is the preview for the past week. And so if we scroll down, we'll see some of the posts, the most recent posts that we've had. So if we click on this one, which has had over 1,000 people reached, you'll see the post here, how many people it reached, the likes, comments, and shares, and then a breakdown of what that looks like. So 28 likes, 2 comments, 6 shares, how many people clicked on the post overall, and what when they clicked through. So 61 people. And then no one had negative feedback on this post. To get you can scroll back. And you'll be able to see, ooh, you should be able to see. It should load all of your posts here, so you can scroll back further and see a lot of that data for other posts. And so back on the home page, yeah, keep clicking back and it'll take you to see more of those. If you'd like to get this data in more of an Excel spreadsheet format, you can click Export and get page data or post data for a specific date range, and then select your file format. The other thing that I would like to point out with Facebook Insights is people. So you can see the demographic of your audience and the breakdown by both gender and age brackets, as well as location and language, which is pretty interesting, especially for really global pages. It can also help you get to know what types of content you should be posting for each demographic, as an 18-year-old will probably be interested in very different content than a 55-year-old. However, I manage a page that is pretty spread even across all these age groups. And so that means that instead of only posting news pieces or instead of only posting videos, we'll mix up the types of content we post so we reach as many people as possible and are really playing to those audiences' interests. And then the other thing that I'd like to point out is under posts. With the days of the week and the averages of how many people are signing on to Facebook that like your page, and then the times that your audience is on Facebook. And so as you can see, posting at 3 a.m. is not a good idea because only 14 people will most likely be on. Whereas posting at 10 p.m. is a really good idea because almost 100 people are on. So it's really important to pay attention to the times of day that you're posting and posting when as many people as possible are on Facebook. A general rule is around dinner time to the bedtime hour. So around like 6 o'clock all the way to 10 o'clock. Just keep in mind, if you're a national organization and you're posting on the East Coast, that time difference makes a really big difference. And so what might be seen at 6 o'clock on the East Coast will be seen at 3 o'clock on the Pacific Coast. And so just make sure that that time frame is taken into consideration. So with that,
So Jordan, I have a question for you.
Yes.
If I want to look at one of my posts and record what kind of engagement I got, could you show me again where I would go to the specific post and read the social analytics just for that post?
So if you go back to just your overview page, you can look for the very specific post that you're looking for. And you just click on that. And you'll see the post that you created, as well as how many people it reached, how many people liked the page, commented on the page, shared the page. And then you'll also be able to see the type of content you posted. So this was a video. It wasn't a news link. It wasn't a blog post that we wrote. It wasn't a photo. It was it was a video. And then you'll also be able to see how many people clicked on it.
And if I wanted to get, I noticed there were 2 comments on that post. How would I download the content from that?
So unfortunately, there's no way to download the comments. You'll have to sort through the comments. And so you can go down and see. So someone posted a link in response, or like a news story in response to this video. Someone, or I guess the same person, commented with also a reaction. And so that's really interesting to take into consideration, that there was both a relevant news article that this video reminded this person of, and then also a reaction. So moving on to Twitter. So Twitter is a little bit easier than Facebook. It's a little bit more simplistic. So you're going to go up in the right corner where your profile picture is and click on that, and a little drop down appears. And you're going to scroll down to Analytics right below Twitter Ads. Click on Analytics and a new window should appear. And so this is all of your Twitter analytics. So it gives you a 28-day summary of all of your tweets, the number of impressions you had, how many overall tweets you had, how many people visited your profile, how many people mentioned you, and your followers. It also compares to the previous 28-day summaries, or months in this case. And so I'm down 25% in the number of tweet impressions I've had, have nearly 80% less people visiting my profile. I have not gained 5 followers, whereas last month I probably gained 5 followers. And then if you scroll down, you'll get kind of a month-by-month breakdown. You'll see your top tweet, the top mention, any new followers that you might have had. So it gives you kind of a breakdown month by month here. If you want some more specifics, you'll go to Tweets. And here you'll be able to see the specific tweet breakdown and how those performed. And so I'm going to do the past 2 months. Click Update. So you can change the date right up in the upper right. And you can also export this data, just like Facebook, into an Excel file. So this shows the impressions over the course of the past 2 months of all of my tweets. As you can see, I've only had 2 tweets. So impressions are here. That's how many people your tweet has potentially been seen by. I say potentially because Twitter impressions mean that that's just how many people your tweets could have touched. It's not guaranteed that that's how many people saw them. And then engagement. Engagements are how many people engaged with your tweets. So that includes favorites, retweets, profile visits, link clicks, anything like that. And then the engagement rate compared to the impressions. So we can look at the tweet activity if you click that, and it'll show you that. So media engagements, link clicks, detail expands, profile clicks. So that all adds up to engagements.
Jordan, I have a question. Is the total reach similar to impressions in Facebook?
That is correct. However, Facebook's algorithm adds up their reach a little bit differently than Twitter adds up their impressions, but that is the comparable number, Facebook reach compared to Twitter impressions.
Thank you.
So we'll click out of tweet activity. And so once you've selected a date, time period, You can also select top tweets, so you can see the top tweets that you've had during that time. And so it just then sorts my 2 tweets by which one performed over the other one. But for the page or the Twitter account that I manage on a day-to-day basis, this sorts through our 100 tweets for the past month and just pulls the top 10. And so then we can see their tweet activity, specifically how many impressions and engagements, and kind of compare. It doesn't always mean that the impressions on the first one were equal to the engagement. Sometimes the first one doesn't have as many engagements as the second, but the impressions are higher, and so the impressions are really what Twitter is pulling this top tweets information from. But you'll see that a lot of the top tweets will have really high impressions as well as really high engagement. And then the other tabs are tweets and replies, which would just be engagement that you've had with other accounts, as well as your own tweets. And then any promoted tweets that you might have had will show up under this last tab. Finally, similar to Facebook, you can look at your followers. See their interests. So as you can see, the top interest of my followers are comedy, movies, and television. You'll be able to see the gender breakdown, all of the rest of the interests, the country, as well as the region. Other pages might be able to give you more information just depending on the size of your audience, the demographic of your audience. The other pages that I manage, or the other Twitter accounts that I manage, give more financial information or estimations of kind of the more specific demographics that are following our page, which can be kind of interesting or really helpful, especially if you're interested in doing any promoted Twitter ads, or really trying to dive deeper into what your audience might be really interested in and what kind of content you should be putting out for them. Any other questions?
No, this is very helpful. Is there, the only thing I was wondering, is there a time, best time to post in Twitter?
On Twitter, there isn't as much, although you can kind of assume the same for your audience from Facebook onto Twitter. That's really the biggest indicator that we use, mostly because they're used not exactly the same, but the frequency with which people visit them are fairly similar. Cool. Well, with that, thank you for tuning in for this video. Have a good day.